This game is a must-play for Dead Rising fans. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is an exceptional remaster and easily the best version of this game that is currently available to play. This right here should 100% be the new standard for remasters moving forward. You can tell this game was made with so much love and that it wasn't just a cheap cash grab. It is so easy to see the amount of passion this team had for this project in every single aspect of the game. It still has the same exact story as the original version from 2006. There seems to be only a few minor changes here and there, but personally I didn't mind any of those changes and I thought they worked just fine. Where a majority of the changes come into play here is the new revamped gameplay. It's crazy how much better this game feels to play. As someone that just replayed through the original a couple months back, the quality of life changes that are made in DR Remaster may feel small, but they have such major improvements on the overall experience. This still feels like you're playing Dead Rising 1. The combat feels the same despite some of the controls being modernized, which personally I really love the modernized control scheme. The biggest and most notable change to the combat is the fact that you can now move while you're aiming and shooting ranged weapons. It is a night and day difference here, and it actually makes these types of weapons feel worthwhile. Before this version, I never felt the need to carry ranged weapons unless I knew a boss fight was coming up where it would be ideal to have one in order to keep range between me and the boss during the fight. But in the Deluxe Remaster, I always found myself having at least 2 or 3 in my inventory at all times. Now I will say, because of this one change, the game does feel significantly easier. I rarely felt challenged by the psycho boss fights, and there were even multiple instances where I walked away from those boss fights without taking any damage. I do think that's worth noting because while I personally don't mind, and I don't think it took away from the fun factor of the game, I could absolutely see how that would be potentially disappointing for some players. On the plus side, if you are wanting to play through this game with the visual upgrades while keeping the classic mechanics, there is a classic mode you can select at the very beginning over the modernized control scheme, and you can roll through the game that way. The AI also came with a notable upgrade. Escorting the survivors through the mall is way less of a headache now. They're still not great, but they are significantly less frustrating to deal with. As you can probably tell, this game got a major visual overhaul and it looks gorgeous. Everything in-game and during the cutscenes looks fantastic. Now we do have an entirely new cast of voice actors playing these roles, and while I was really impressed by the work the cast had done, it did take me a good chunk of time before I warmed up to Frank. Not only did Frank get a pretty drastic redesign, but he got a new voice actor to go along with it too. As someone that grew up with this game and has had the original design and voice actor engraved in their brain for almost 20 years now, I was really caught off guard by the new approach they were taking with this character for the remaster. Leading up to its release, I was pretty convinced it was going to be impossible for me to get used to this Arkham City Joker looking Frank. But they did manage to make it work. I eventually came around to not just the new redesign, but the new voice actor as well, and the voice actor they have playing Frank does an excellent job at making it feel his own, while also still feeling like the Frank we know and love. Overall, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is hands down the definitive version of Dead Rising. What they were able to do here is truly mind-blowing, and I'm having such a great time with this game. I'm already halfway through my second playthrough, and I can't wait to continue to play it over and over again throughout the years to come. I'm going to be giving Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube stuff, and I would love to know, what's your favorite Dead Rising game?